All right, let's talk DBs. We're here with Coach Cordova right here. First one we're going to talk about Antorus Hambrick. All right, he's a 5'11", 175-pound DB out of Forney, Texas, North Forney to be specific. It's Goonville, and it's population 11. That's what we do in North Forney, and I love that. Coach Morgan, what do you think about Antorus?
Yeah, you talk about Coach Jackson. He's a guy that has kind of defined culture. He wrote a book about it, actually. So,
really good.
You know, and not only that, you see him early in the season, and a couple big wins for the program and making a good run in the playoffs. He's done a phenomenal job there at North Forney. So you feel good about taking a kid like this. I mean, he's in a program that kind of matches the culture we're going to have, and he is a guy that fits our program. He's a kid that we've been recruiting, had been recruiting for a long time, and he fits, and he's a playmaker. And you'll see him on the back half there.
Yeah. Coach Cordova, what do you see in his film that makes you like
Well,
Antorus?
to start off, I love his versatility. Antorus started off playing a little corner, and then he moved into safety. So the ability for him to be able to play corner and safety, or possibly nickel, is very intriguing. And as you can see that last clip, he was playing one of the coverages that we play, playing a little mini, and read the quarterback eyes and was able to make a big play right there.
He's a kid, when you visit with him, like a lot of these kids, he's a kid with a lot of life. I mean, you talk with him, he was excited about being a Lamar Cardinal. He was excited to be here. Once he committed, he never wavered. I mean, that just says something about the character of a kid. When they commit somewhere and they never waver about their commitment. You love that about him as a person.
I just got off the phone with Antorus to be exact, and he was talking about when he can come down here and watch us practice, and he knew the exact date in which he thought he was going to be able to come down here and watch us, and he's just ready to go.
Yeah, you talk about Antorus, you're talking about a Dallas Morning News Defensive Player of the Week from the middle of November, where he had a huge game on defense. I know in Coach Jackson's offseason, they put a question mark on the shirt until they earn their right to wear their workout shirt. I think he answers a lot of questions. I bet he got his shirt really early in that system, because on and off the field, he's our guy.
And what he's going to bring to the table is leadership. He's going to be a vocal leader, and he communicates extremely well, plays hard, is going to get the guys lined up, and that's the type of guys we need in our room.
Yeah, fired up about Antorus.
Very.
Next guy up, Dane Yinch from Grandview, Texas. One of the most highly decorated Texas high school football players. Received a lot of awards in his career, all very well earned. About a 5'11", 200-pound kid. Never came off the field in 4 years. Played quarterback and DB. Coach Morgan, what do you got on Dane?
Dane, you talked to the head coach at Grandview, a guy that, again, has won 2 state championships here in the last 3 years. When he says, this kid is the best kid I have ever coached, then you listen. Yeah. You listen to him.
No doubt about it.
A kid that never came off the field, and it's not like they're not running him on offense. He's running the alley as a safety. I mean, this kid does everything, and they played, how many dang games have they played in the last 3 years? They played so many games. He was about to be the winningest quarterback in Texas high school football history. This kid's going to find his way onto the field.
Definitely. One thing that comes to mind with Dane is one of those old sayings, all he does is win, baby. That's all he does. And he plays the game above his shoulders, processes information extremely fast, and he's athletic, has great ball skills, flies to the ball. One of those things on our defense that we preach all the time, and that's something that's just innate with this young man. And he'll be a great addition to our room. And as you can see right here, he's playing a little post safety because he plays the quarterback. He knows the read of the quarterback's indicators and be able to use his instincts to be able to make plays for us, give our offense the ball more times.
Yeah, I think Coach Gibson talked to one of the opposing coaches they played in the playoffs. One thing he said is athletically, man, this dude plays with our guys. And it was a team that they had a lot of really good, talented football players. And you listen to that. I mean, we love listening to the high school football coaches, and we value their input. I mean, being the son of one myself, I mean, those inputs are invaluable.
Yeah, and same with Dane. son of a Texas high school football coach. He's the only guy in history that's been offensive and defensive MVP of the state championship game. Did it once, did it twice. Wow. So just, just a really, really impressive young man. And he'll come into our program, make an impact on and off the field. You just love his passion. He just brings it every play. All right, next up, Carrie Mcmillian, a 6'4", 190-pound DB out of River Ridge, Louisiana, John Curtis High School. What a school that is. Produced a number of college football players through the years. Man, this kid is long. He's going to cover a lot of ground back there. Coach Morgan, what you got on Carrie?
Gosh, how many state championships has JT won over at Curtis High School?
Unbelievable.
What an unbelievable program. And again, another program that just preaches physicality and work ethic and doing things the right way. And we love recruiting those programs. You know that a kid like Carrie is going to come into our program already knowing, or what the expectations are. Carrie's just a rangy kid, and I think he's another one of these kids that the sky's kind of the limit for him, right? I mean, he's a long, lengthy guy that is rangy. He's got good ball skills, and you think the best football for this kid is well ahead of him.
I definitely concur with your synopsis on Carrie. Carrie has great length. Has a huge upside in terms of what he can do. John Curtis played a lot of cover 3, as you can see right there, playing the post safety and using his ball skills. But Carrie will also be able to play quarters for us and play a number of different coverages and do that thing at a high level. I love the energy in which he plays with. He's a hard worker and a good young man that adds a lot of depth in our room.
Yeah, you get those long kids that got some length to them, and with the defense we're going to play, he can play at a number of different spots, and he can rotate down into the box and play inverted to the field, and you like a long rangy guy back playing the middle third sometimes and tracking the ball down. Absolutely,
just an impressive athlete. No telling how big he's going to be in 3 years, right? I mean, he's going to be able to come downhill. He's going to be able to get in passing lanes. He'll be someone that comes in and makes a contribution and maybe gives us an element we don't have there in the back end with a guy 6'4". Love the fact that he's going to be coming to Beaumont.
Be hard to throw the ball over his head.
That's right. All right, let's talk about some corners. DeMarco Roberts, 5'9", 175-pound, Lido, Texas. He's getting measured for a state championship ring again. Wow. He was the defensive MVP of the state championship game as a junior, offensive MVP as a senior. You kind of get a theme that we got some guys that won a lot of games and made some big plays. We're excited about DeMarco. Coach Morgan, what you got on DeMarco?
Yeah, Coach Buck, man, there at Lido. Gosh, I mean, there's nobody that's done it any better than this guy. I mean, arguably the best program in the history of Texas high school football. I mean, you can't really overstate that. How many state championships have they won?
I think it's 9. I think they're running out of fingers to put rings on.
Yeah, no doubt. But you when you go on a visit with Coach Buck, you listen. Mm-hmm. A guy that's won that much, and really they've done it in dominating fashion.
Absolutely.
A lot of the regular season games aren't even close. But I mean, let's get to DeMarco. You talk about DeMarco. I mean, a kid that his junior year has a lot of defensive tape, and then you turn on and really a lot of the best coaches put their best player at tailback. Yep. Their best player on the team. And so that's what they did with DeMarco this year. They put him at tailback. And you'll see on the clips, I mean, he's got incredible feet, great acceleration, and he's just tough. I mean, he's a blue collar kid. You go into the high school and the coach says, this is a tough, great kid. And you say, we want him. He's our guy.
Yes, he is, and brings that championship culture, which we're looking for in the young men that we're bringing in. Shows ability and quickness off of the ball, great ball skills, and I love the way that he tackles. He's a physical young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so many different tools. I mean, there's so many things. He can impact the game on defense. He can impact the game on special teams. You put the ball in his hands. He's special. There's just not many players like him in the state of Texas.
That play right there, that was a big play in a big game right there, and they felt that he can climb the ladder and go get that out of that young man's hands. So
yeah, a guy that plays tailback, he can return kickoffs. You see him blocking a field goal. You see him blocking a punt. You see him playing corner. That's kind of the definition of versatility right there, isn't it?
How many ways can you impact a game? He knows all of them. DeMarco Roberts from Aledo, Texas, going to be a great Cardinal.
Here.
Oh yeah,
this is a big one.
Dude can scoot a little bit too. He floats. He's a floater.
He can pick him up and put him down.
Yep. Can't wait to get him on campus. Next up, Damian Alexander, cornerback out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Coach Cordova, you got some familiarity with that area, I know. Booker T.
Yes.
Washington High School. Watched him play on ESPN earlier this year, right?
Yes.
And we're excited about Damian. Let's talk Damian Alexander, Coach Morgan.
You know, Damian Alexander, the thing that you watch his tape, and the thing that stands out is, his ball skills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a kid, you love a kid. I love corners. We had one that plays for the Falcons down at San Diego State, and he had such great ball skills. So you see his ball skills and his ability to track the ball, and then you talk about his family. His mom's a coach, so you love getting coaches' kids. I'm biased about that, but I love coaches' kids because they've been around the gym. They're usually gym rats, and they play multiple sports, and they know how to get coached.
Yes, and Damian is he's one of the fastest kids in New Orleans. Track kid, like you said, his mom's a coach. His coach, dad was a coach, and one of the better coaches in New Orleans. And Damian got these guys to the second round of the playoffs this past year. But like Coach said, and talked about his ball skills. And once he catches the actual ball, Damian is not just content with catching the ball. He wants to take it to the house, as you can see on this first clip here. Right here, he's in press coverage, uses his hands, get off of a potential block, catches the ball, and that's curtains after he gets his hands on, and there's some open space in front of him.
Not many people. It seems like when he has interceptions, he doesn't get tracked down a whole lot. He's not one of those guys in the media room that he gets clowned by his boys because he's getting tracked down.
Not at all.
When he picks it off. A lot of us were watching this game, on ESPN, and he's covering for most of this game. I think that kid's a power 5 receiver, 6'4" kid, and he played it man-to-man all game. Yep. Played him pretty tough and made a bunch of plays on him.
And that's the thing Damian loves to do, is get in your face and play man-to-man coverage and take away the gifts and track the ball and get as many interceptions as he possibly can. And really excited about having this young man in our program.
Yeah, you can just tell it. He loves ball. He loves playing football. Loves competing.
Yes, sir.
Our kind of guy. Hey, let's go back to New Orleans, Louisiana. Warren Easton High School. Rahman Stevens, a 5'10", 165-pound corner. He brings some juice. He brings some juice to the table. Coach Morgan, what about Rahman?
Yeah, I remember going to this high school probably about 5 years ago and watching these guys practice, and they were physical. They did a great job coaching their kids, and the kids responded. And so I remember very clearly watching his junior tape. And he looked like a little smaller guy, but he just looked like a dude. I was like, we gotta go take this guy. He just seems like he's an absolute go-getter. And he's a type A, and he loves to compete. And you're gonna see that over and over again. You turn on the tape, man, the kid will go and track the ball now.
And one of the things you're gonna find out about Rahman is, look, he played in front of a sold-out crowd, and he always guards the #1 receiver from the opposing team. And this team here is Edna Carr, and he's playing against a P5 guy. And as you can see, he's going to get him one. He knows leverage, knows body position, knows they're in single high coverage right there, so he can play drop low shoulder on that guy and got him interception and helping his team try to steal a win.
It was fun too. I mean, he's another kid that committed to us pretty early on, and again, this kid committed and decided he wanted to do something a little bit different and never wavered. That's what's so impressive about a couple of these guys, on the defensive backfield. They committed to us early, and man, they were the definition of what committing and being a man of your word, and those guys will be awesome teammates because they're going to hold other guys accountable, and you'll love that about this guy. You get the feeling, when you talk to him. I mean, he's a guy that's he's going to have a high standard for doing things.
And he held his teammates to extreme high standard, and because of that, those guys have been having winning seasons for the last couple seasons and have taken that program to a different level. So that's why I'm extremely excited about Rahman, and happy to have him as a Cardinal.
Yeah, when you talk to him, he's excited to play football. He's excited to do it in a Lamar Cardinal uniform, and that excites us. And that to me is that's what you get fired up about this recruiting class for. Guys that want to come put on the red and black and represent the Golden Triangle, and he's gonna make plays. There's no doubt about it.
You like it when the defensive side, man, you like those turnovers.
Yes, sir.
Well, on offense, man, y'all get the ball back to us. We can handle that now.
Absolutely. Lamar Stevens coming to Beaumont.